Have you guys ever thought about cutting a truck door in half with a 22 long rifle? I know I sure have. So that's exactly what we're going to try and do here today. So we already know a little 22 long rifle will go straight through a truck door from one of the last tests I did. So for this test, we're just going to be using these Federal Bulk Pack 36 grain hollow points with my Ruger 1022. So let me know, what's your guys' guess? How many 22 long rifles do you think it's going to take me to chop this door in half? I think as long as I can keep them in a pretty straight line, it'll take around 200 to 300. Alright, so we're only going to be shooting from about 20 feet away, so I definitely don't want to forget my safety glasses. But let's go ahead and get started with the test. So this might take a while, especially considering I only have one 10-round mag. So I'm going to go ahead and speed things up a little bit. We're at about 70 rounds so far. Let's continue with our test. So I've actually lost track of how many rounds we're at now, but I just scooted about 10 feet closer or so that way it'll be a little bit easier to hit all those gaps that I'm missing between the bullet impacts. Well, we're more than halfway through the box now, but we're almost done. Alright, it looks like we're just about done, but we've encountered a problem. Over here on the side where the door attaches to the vehicle, it's actually steel right there, and this 22 won't make it through that. We've cut every single piece in half except over here on the siding where there's that steel, but I'm going to need something bigger to make it through that. So I'm going to have to bust out the 223. Let's go ahead and take a look at our door real fast before we finish it off. Not quite sure how many rounds of 22 it's taken, but we'll figure that out later. I'll count after watching the footage. Right here's that steel that the 22 won't make it through. But I bet our 223 will. And the back side of our door. We cut just about 99.9% of that door in half. There's just that one little layer of steel. So let's see if we can take it out with the 223. Alright, so it's actually a lot harder to hit with the 223 than I was expecting. So what about some shotgun slugs? Alright, this is my last hope. I'm going to try the Mauser. Let's hope we can get that door cut in half. Alright, that's it. I give up. I wasn't able to cut it in half, but we sure did a lot of damage to it. Let's go check it out. I was having lots of difficulty with the 223. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 18 223 impacts. You can tell it's the 223 because it leaves copper jacket every single time. And then obviously our giant slug holes. And I think my 8mm hit right here, and right here. But the door still remains. I'm sure it might be easier if I shoot it from this side. I've already gone through too much ammo, so I'm gonna call it quits here. But anyways, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So this time I set the door up sideways so I have a bigger target instead of just that tiny little sliver. And we're gonna knock it out with some shotgun slugs. So these are gonna be all hand-loaded slugs. And the first one I'm gonna try is gonna be that's 3.5-inch slug. It's gonna be the first 3.5-inch shell I've ever fired. It's a 450 grain pellet on top of 52.5 grains a long shot. I think this is gonna be pretty brutal. Let's all have a moment of silence for my shoulder that probably won't exist anymore. I felt a burst of hot air when I shot it. Surprisingly, it didn't have that much recoil. I guess I didn't load it hot enough. But for the rest of these shots, it's just gonna be regular slugs, not giant 3.5-inch. Well, it looks like I got rid of all that layer of steel now. So the tiny bit that's left we could finish off with the 22. But I still have 2 more slugs that I brought out. So let's go ahead and get rid of these first. Alright, that was awesome. Don't mind the chainsaw noise in the background. We completely got rid of our steel that was keeping the door attached. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results from the Slugs real fast. There was a steel wall all the way through right here. That's a little thin piece of steel. Then you can see marks from the Slugs right here. And we just cut clean through that entire steel layer. You can see the thickness of it right there. The 22 just wasn't a match for that, but those Slugs sure were. And all we got left holding the door together now is this little piece of door that the 22 can actually get through, and a couple little pieces on the front here. But the 22 is plenty for that. And our Slugs that busted through right there, one of them came clear out the back right here, and you can see there's fragment marks all over, like they're breaking apart. Even right here, a fragment came out there. Another fragment came out here. And all that's damage is just from those Slugs. And there's actually a slug, or a piece of a slug, laying down there in the bottom of the door. Probably a piece. And right here also. That's a chunk of one of those Slugs I was just shooting. Alright, so that was awesome. Now let's finish the door off with the 22. Alright, say goodbye to being in one piece, truck door. Okay, I cheated. I moved a little bit closer. There's just one little sliver I couldn't hit. Yeah! Finally! About time. We finally cut that door in half. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. So we learned one thing from this. It was actually a lot harder than I expected to cut that door in half. Took way more rounds than it should have, mostly because I missed a lot. If I was more accurate, I could have easily took a nits out with half as many rounds, if not less. But anyways, let's check out this door now that it's cut in half. At the end there, I literally just had these two little slivers holding the door together, and I just kept missing them. But finally, our door's in half. Awesome. Just took 2 days of shooting, and this is obviously really sharp and jagged. Don't want to touch that. And there's our slug fragments laying in the bottom there, 3 chunks. And more chunks of lead over here. And here's the top half of our door. This was so much fun. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you cut a truck door in half with a 22 and 12 gauge slugs. So after all of that, I'm not sure how many rounds it took altogether, but I had just opened its 550 round bulk pack of 22 when we started the test, and this is what's left. Probably about 50 rounds. So it took probably right around 500 rounds to actually finish that off, including those 10 slugs I just shot. We won't count yesterday's 223s and slugs and 8mm, because those were all fails and misses pretty much. So overall it took me about 10 accurate 12 gauge slugs and 500 inaccurate 22s. Like I said, I could have done that with half as many rounds had I been more accurate. Anyways, that's all for the cutting a truck door in half with a 22 long rifle video. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you can, check out my Facebook page. It's also called The Ballistician. And if you have any other ideas for videos you'd want me to make, just go ahead and let me know. And until next time, thanks for watching.